talking to people all over town, getting to know their needs and what they desire most for the town we share. Most that I've talked to are frustrated with the money and amount of money being spent and the little they are seeing in results. Our Public Works Department is undermanaged. Little money is in the budget to be able to maintain our parks. We have drinking fountains that do not work. Our bathrooms are not maintained and usable. It seems there is hardly any money to be able to pay workers to cut the grass and weeds, or even be able to pay for grass seed and fertilizer. The streets are full of potholes, and yet there is no money to hire additional street workers or pay for the materials needed to fix them. These workers take pride in their work and should be awarded for the hard work they do. But most of Public Works have not had a raise in 3 to 4 years. Most of Public Works. The rec center funding has been reduced and has the possibility of selling the building is a reality due to it being bought with RDA monies, and therefore all assets might have to be turned over to the state that were purchased with such. Kids are on the streets and buildings are being tagged nightly, creating a very negative image of our city. And yet our highly trained police department can only staff 2 officers and a sergeant per shift. These working men and women in blue are a credit to our community for all they do and risk every day and night, 24/7, to keep the citizens safe, which they do. Yet we cannot afford to hire any more of them. These are just some of the problems our city is facing here today, and has been facing for some time now. There's no more money to make any more improvements. There's no more money to fix anything. There's no more money at all to clean the streets and to clean the trash and line our streets, or even simple quality of life of health and safety codes. The only thing there seems to be money for is outrageous salaries and benefits. Blythe City management is earning, when it comes to paying management, the past city council gave them a blank check and they took full advantage of it. So while management lives high in the hog, the citizens of Blythe, people like me, pay higher and higher taxes and receive less and less services. And it's reached a point in Blythe where there is no money to do any projects or maintenance because all the money goes to managers. This, in my opinion, and I believe the opinion of all the constituents here, is totally unacceptable. Thus, I promised my constituents when I ran was a situation I would fight my hardest to correct. And no matter what, I'm going to fight to the end. Mr. Lane, 2 years ago, you were able to convince the city council that you were worth a 3-year contract extension. 4 of those council members who voted for that contract are gone today. Do you think you convinced the city council today that you're worth what you make, and that you should be given another extension? Do you think you convinced the people who elected this council deserve what you were paid? Mr. Rocky, what are you doing that justifies you getting more than $150,000 a year in salary and benefits? Are you personally fixing the roads? Are you personally maintaining the parks? Do you ever put on your work clothes and join the men in their endeavors of what they do? And to the finance secretary who is not here tonight, Mr. Lane has repeatedly stated for the 10 years prior to his arrival the books were in the red, and that the city racked up $3.5 million in debt. Mrs. Finance Director, were you in charge of those books for those years? Did you send out warnings or bring this extraordinary deficit to the attention of anyone? If the books were done so wrong then, how do we know we can trust the books now? Chief Smith, there are 5 people in the police department who make well over $100,000 a year. 3 more made over $97,000 a year base in benefits and salary, not counting. City manager made a big deal about how you save a ton of money cutting down on overtime. Just how much exactly of your budget is currently being spent on overtime? Just a quick glance at the latest salary and benefit information.
I think you're going over the line.
I don't think I'm going out of line. I'm giving a report here on a presentation. What am I going out of line on?
I think the issue about the reduction, I think as we've talked about before, that's really something for discussion. But individual employees, because the city manager is the direct supervisor of the getting into specific issues about those employees is really not something that's supposed to be handled through the city manager. So I'm pointing that out. I don't want to. I'm trying to prevent that situation where the city would be having liability related to that. So I'm just pointing.
So anything I've said so far has been untrue or unjustified? Have I done any facts or anything that has put the city in jeopardy?
Well, I wouldn't want to specify anything like in this public forum along those lines. Again, part of it I missed out on. I'm just saying again, if we get into specific employees that are not under the direct supervision of the council, the city council hires a city manager and they hire the city attorney, and then the city manager is the one who's responsible for hiring the other employees in the city. And there's a process there, and I want to be respectful to you, Councilmember. I understand your concerns, and it very well may be legitimate. I'm just trying to avoid a situation where employees are being would make some kind of claim concerning going around the normal process for discipline.
May I continue, and then would you correct me, or if I'm out of line? Or if I'm saying anything out of line, will you stop me? Because I don't believe I have yet.
I think we just said you were on.
No, I don't think you said that. I think you said that.
No. All I'm saying is I think when we get into specific employees, I think we would talk about general concerns maybe in the city about parks but when he gets to specific employees, that's where we're.
All right, I want all this verbatim put on the record of what is being said here tonight. This needs to be put on verbatim on the records. I've been criticized in the past for being public about this issue, but it's important that this discussion be part of public record. I want the voters to see where everyone stands on this issue. And as that issue is very important to them. I think if we really care about this community, and we believe in the work that we do, we will be willingly giving up 25% of our pay and benefits and give back to the community. The city manager and the department heads and assistants count for $983,226,000 of the general fund budget, which according to Mr. Lane is $2.4 million in debt, or in the black, as like you like to put it. The city recently lost its redevelopment agency on February 1st of this year and is in danger of losing another $400,000 in administrative fees. While we still continue to be paid out $250,000 out of $400,000, as Mr. Lane stated in the minutes of the January 10th Blythe City Council meeting, that the situation is changing often, and he's receiving updates sometimes thrice daily. And you can find that quote in the January 10th City Council transcript, which I had pulled. It is in this transcript tonight. Mr. Lane, if you're receiving updates thrice daily, like you said, how can you be sure we're going to continue to collect at least $250,000? A 25% pay cut from the 7 top managers will save us $245,806 to cover that loss. I know I have no authority as a city councilman to make management take a 25% cut. I can only request that they do so to support the city and the residents that we all serve. If you can't take a pay cut, I'm not asking you as a councilman, I'm asking you as a citizen who loves the city, that you consider resigning so that the rest of us continue to move forward. I thank all of you for being here tonight. It's an honor to serve you. Thank you, and God bless America.
Wow. Probably not.